A very big welcome to you, my dear Capricorn. The Sun is in Virgo, giving the light to the Moon, which is in your sign, and we're going to the new Moon, right? It's waning for you, and you have your new Moon in your month because you have Sun and new Moon then both in your sign. And here we see Virgo, the 9th major arcana, and you, Capricorn, the 15th major arcana. When we calculate them together, we get the 24. And the 24, we see in the 20, the last judgment, Pluto. And Pluto is a big player for you, my dear Capricorn, because he has moved a last time back into your house. He's a guest, and you're gonna watch this guest because he's gonna ask you, what do you want to let go for good? I mean, radically, you need to let go of certain things that just never ever will come back. And so you understand that the 20 brings then that understanding, and the 4, the 20, and the 4 is the Emperor, is Aries, is that new thinking, is that new awareness that you have in your brain. And then when you combine the 24 into the 6 comes back, right? The 15 here we can calculate together. The 10, the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, and the 5 senses. And when we combine it, we get the 3rd eye, the 6th chakra. And we get the 6 as well with the 24. But there we have Aries and the Moon. And the Moon is your subconscious, is that part within you that intuitive knows what's going on, right? And so you will see the 6 coming, because Virgo, or the number 9 that Virgo represents, the completion, is giving itself up. It's there, but when I calculate always the numbers together, I can literally leave the 9 and say, okay, here we have the 15, which is the 6 is left, right? And so here we have Luca Pacioli, and he's a genius, and he loves numbers, and he quite is special, and I love him because I love numbers too, right? And so we have the 4 and the 5 in the Roman numbers here, while you have the 10 and the 5. And so here the calculation of the Hierophant, Taurus, and the Emperor, Aries, the 2 energies that makes the Patriarch, that makes those kind of people that want to control us spiritually, and then of course in the way we flourish. And you have the Wheel of Fortune, right? The 10 and the 5, also the Hierophant, the 5 senses. It's always those 5 senses that are holding us here in this dimension, and how we can get out of that. And so then the 9 appears, and here the 6, the 9 and the 6, the 15 comes back, and of course then again the 6 is left. So this is the story here, right? When I see this, right? And this is what's happening today. Sun in Virgo, Moon in your sign. And why I'm picking this date is because I can feel then the message coming through me to you. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury in the tarot is the magician. And so the 1, right, here in the 10 is also the Wheel of Fortune and the magician. And so that's the information that we get, right, through the language, through signs. You are ruled by Saturn, and Saturn, of course, are borders and lessons, and to understand that the world is Saturn in the tarot, right? The 21. So just we understand, right? These numbers all very specific the way they are put together, and this is always what is so fascinating for me, right? I love doing these readings because I'm learning again and again new things. And so the yoga position, we have mountain pose. Virgo is back up at the mountain again, like the Fool, right? And then you get here the dancer's pose. You are God Pan, and the church made you the devil. And of course, I made out of you the dancer. And you're having fun, you're enjoying your life, and you are the one that makes money, right? Career. Climbing up that mountain, climbing up that ladder is your thing. And so here we have the dancer pose. So this is just today, right, that you understand. And you are the Queen of Pentacles. Is your birthday between December 12th and January 8th, then is she your court card. And you see that she's very loyal, she's very sweet, right? She's the 10th zodiac sign. And as a Capricorn, you are the boss. You like to really lead people, right? Because you're a leader going up the highest mountain. And we usually see the Himalayan goat. And since you're the 10th zodiac sign, you're connected with the 10th house of career and success. And you see how she is reaching up to the sun. The sun is a dwarf star, and so you are reaching up to the stars, right? Just that you understand that this is your court card. And if your birthday is before or after, please look in the description. I have listed them all there. Back to the last reading, because everything is cyclical. Leo Sun gave Capricorn Moon the light. In your subconscious, you know that you're expecting an overflow. So you came up here in the reading, and I'm always looking if there is a reoccurring card coming here, because that's how I can see that there is a message that needs to be addressed again, or a sign, right? And I see one. And then we have 5. I think that's it. We have one card that's reoccurring, that's coming back. Good. And before we begin, I want to introduce you to a new deck, which is the Star Seeds. This woman is from Austria, Birgit Fischer, and she channels these energies, these star people, since her childhood. And so I picked a card for you. Now, when you see the card, right, you will instantly, intuitively feel, yes, I feel this, or no, I don't. And so listen to that. And so we have Ashtara. And Ashtara is a very beautiful energy. And I'm just going to read to you what they want to say. You find the answers in nature. Nature is the mirror of your inner consciousness. Feel that you are connected with nature. The world in Ashtara is a world of a very beautiful green. And as soon as this green mist is leaving, then you see a world of elves and gnomes and all creatures, right? In this dimension we call utopia, and you immediately feel like you're like in Alice in Wonderland. So here everything is alive, what the earth has brought forward, and most call this a fantasy or a utopia. But here is a mirror that nature is connected with us and intertwined very deeply, and that we cannot live without her. So accept this fantasy and use it for your advantage. When this card appears, or the essence of this card means that this card wants to motivate you to believe in the messages of nature. You too are nature, and you too have an inner voice that is talking to you. So here you are getting already an answer, and the answer is yes. And so go ahead, you know exactly what it's all about. Don't doubt it, you already know it. So nature is talking, right? And you see that the snake is green and the queen, right? Remember when we calculate the 10th zodiac sign and the 15, we get the 25. And the 25, we again have a 20 here, the Pluto energy. And the 5, of course, the 5 senses. And we have then the 7. Have the emotional intelligence to recognize that you are connected with nature, because the 7 is the Chariot, and the Chariot is your opposite sign. It has given you the light for your last 2 full moon. You had 2 full moons. And so observe, right? It's really important that you see here that nature is looking to the left, but remember, when we become it, it's actually to the right. So we begin with the Queen of Pentacles. And here we have the 7 of Wands, which is connected with the constellation Mars in Leo. Mars is, of course, connected with the Emperor, with Aries, with action, and such an action that you become courageous. And so the 10 and the 7 is the 17. Then Pluto, in the end of November, is gonna go for good for 20 years into Aquarius. And so the star that you are looking for, or that you're reaching up to, right here, the sun is a dwarf star, is now speaking here through the combination of these 2 cards. You need to understand that courage and having the understanding that everything needs this, push, right? Mars, it's kind of like Mars and Leo. It's like there is an action, there is a fun, there is everything that we feel that we can accomplish with Mars and Leo. Leo is fun. Mars is though also the warrior. And so you see that a warrior has to also have fun, otherwise he's just a brutal being. And so see that the 17 then turns into an 8, and the 8 is that infinite loop, right, of coming and going, inhale and exhale, and you understand that the 8 is talking here to you. So this is really beautiful, because somehow you have the courage, right, to stand up and use, the way you are interacting with the people, a way of communion. Because the 7 again is the crown chakra, remember, right? And that's where your emotional intelligence comes in, to know what type of actions are going to bring you forward and which ones are going to set you back. Then we're going to look at the devil, right? Or God Pan. And we see here comes the Ace of Pentacles. And this you love, right? You love the Ace of Pentacles because you hold it very dearly here in your left hand, right in your intuitive side. And so understand that she is powerful. She is here connected with the Pentacles. And you know that the Pentacle is something that makes a person, right? One Pentacle, you think, okay, what can I do with 1? But the 1 is important when you add a 0, and the more zeros, the richer you are. But if you only have zeros and no 1 in the front, then you have nothing. And so here the 15 plus the 1 is the 16, And the 16 is the Tower, is Mars, is saying you need to understand how you interact with the empowerment that money gives us, right? You cannot just do whatever you want with the money. You really need to look at it and know it's an energy. And whatever you put out there, you're gonna definitely get back, and then you need to defend it. What is Virgo bringing? Virgo is bringing you the Queen of Cups. And here's Salvador Dali, right? It's so beautiful to watch his deck, right? He sometimes puts these funny little things. He puts a mustache in her face. And it's really interesting because you're also a queen. And so when you're a queen, you have a crown on top of your head. And that's what, you know, defines a queen, which is the crown chakra, the number 7. And so here she is connected with the Chariot, with the 7. And you have 7 wands. You have actually the courage now to step up for love, right? And she's the 4th zodiac sign. So the 4 and the 1 is a 5. And the 5 is the Hierophant, is again the institutions, the banks, all that. We need to observe where is the new money going. And Cancer is very loving, very healing. And so a lot of healing modalities are going to now come, and we can work with them. And so the 6 and the 5 is an 11. And the 11 is again that understanding you are now in a portal, in the 1-1 portal, in the inner knowledge, in the inner teacher that knows exactly what to do, right? Like here, you either have a friend or you are gonna give here the light to the full moon of Cancer. And of course, maybe it's just a friend, maybe it's someone that is helping you to heal yourself, right? Particularly with the money that you are holding up here. And then I want to see what is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing. It's the Hierophant to the left and facing down. And the Hierophant is Taurus, and Taurus is facing over to her. And so when this is reverse, it's kind of saying, well, this is not working anymore. A lot of people leaving the church because the church is controlling, right? The church is part of the patriarch here, the 5 and the 4. It's the Pope, and it's that, well, we are male and we can do whatever we want with you. And also the King and the Pope, right? Those were back then in the days the ones who controlled us, and they still control us. And so something is saying, no, this money is not working with this money anymore. But the 1 and the 5 is also a 6. So then you have a 6-6 portal, right? Or we can here do the 4 and the 1 is a 5 portal, and then the 6 is left. So you see for yourself what works. Where do you want to calculate together? Where do you want to leave a portal, right? A 5 portal is different than a 6-6 portal. Just understand that, right? Because the 5 is the 5th chakra, the 6 is the 3rd eye, is the liberation. And so I hope you understood the message here, right? There is a new way of working with money, right? A more healing way of where we put the money, and the banks are noticing that, right? And so a lot of people are actually now in the healing industry really investing money. Then we look at the moon. The moon is here bringing you the farther gate, the bold step forward, the number 55. And the 55, of course, is 2 times the 5, and we had the 5 here, so 3 times the 5. Become powerful, right, in the way you speak about healing, about really not wanting to be part of a system anymore, liberating yourself, because that's what completion is, right? That's what Virgo is living, and Virgo is bringing that through the sun, right? The sun is giving us life, is giving us the beingness, is giving us the understanding. And of course Mercury, the magic in there is to know that you put a crown on your head and that's it. You create your own energy field, and so somehow there is a gate that is calling you to open up. And so the 18, right, turns into a 9, and the 9 gives itself up. So here we leave the 55 and the 9. But I wanted to see what is, of course, here your deck bringing to the moon. It's the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is Virgo, the court card of Virgo, which is the 6th zodiac sign. And so the 9 and the 6 is the 15. Remember, right? And the 15 is you. So Virgo is intricately connected with you. Virgo here is a horse. Virgo is facing here this further gate. And it's almost saying, well, I need to get there, right? And so the 9, like I said, and the 6 is the 15. The 6 is left. And so we leave the 6 here. And then you have 3 times the 6, right? And you understand that, okay, there is a message. 3 times the 6, they say it's the sign of the beast, but it's not. It's simply the hexagram. It's simply the triangle that's pointing up and the triangle that's pointing down, interlaced, right, intertwined, and that's the self-love. I love the masculine and the feminine deep within me. So we leave that, right? But Virgo is coming and helping you. Like, you know, the sun in Virgo is coming and helping you. What's coming here through the mother piece? It's the high priestess to the left, upright. And to the left says, well, here the 6 and the 2 creates an 8, an infinite portal. And this infinite portal is bringing you the understanding that in an 8, we see, like I said before, the loop of coming and going, inhale and exhale. And we had the 8 here, right? With the 10 and the 7 was the 17 to calculate together the 8. And so you have 2 times the 8 here, where this tribal woman is helping Virgo, a person, right? This is rather a person. This is the major arcana, is the soul talking. Here the court cards are people. And so here's a Virgo, and the Virgo is literally saying, well, I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm gonna invest into opening myself up. I'm gonna open up my throat chakra, the 5-5, and here I'm gonna listen to my intuition. And this is something that you feel is coming. It's almost like you are opening up that, right? Of course it can be a person in your life, but deep in your subconscious, you know, also you, if you see in someone else that they have something that bothers you, it's because it's inside of you as well. And so it's very clear, right? We have, of course, the 55 we leave as a portal, but remember this becomes a 10, right? And that's you. But we have the 8 and the 9 is the 17 again. And so the 17, then the 8 is left. Understand that the 17 is Aquarius, where Pluto is going to be by the end of November. But right now Pluto is in your house, is visiting you, and then from the end of November Pluto is going to like go and visit Aquarius. And so there is already a sign that Aquarius is bringing the message, right? It's going to be gone soon. So just bear with it and see what Pluto is wanting to tell you. What do you really want to let go? Remember, you want to let go. Then comes here on the position of the sun, comes here the magnetic energy, and it's the 37. The 3 in the tarot is Venus and the Empress. The 7, again, that's Cancer, right? Remember Cancer? Here the Queen of Cups with the beard, with the mustache. She's maybe letting you know be funny, right? Let's just do things in a way that you wouldn't expect. And so here we have a 10, the 19, right? The Wheel of Fortune, the 10, and the 9 Virgo here is letting you know that, again, a 10 is appearing, and so you have a 10-10 portal, 2 times 10. 2 times 10 can become the 20. So understand, Pluto is letting you know that deep down you knew there were mysteries, and you may be now feeling those mysteries again, awakening and letting you know, I don't want certain things from my childhood anymore. I want to liberate that in my life, right? What's coming from Virgo, because the sun is in Virgo? The 10 of Pentacles, and that's Mercury in Virgo. That's a lot of money, but you see 6 women here enjoying the bath, the butterflies, and the transformation inside. And you have here 3 coins, 1 coin, and then again 6 coins, right? And so this is a very interesting constellation in the way you place the coins, because back then we didn't have a picture inside where we understood what this means. What does it mean, 10 coins? It's like if you see 10 coins lying there, you're like, oh, that's a lot of money, right? But maybe 10 euros or $10 is not really a lot of money. But to see the meaning behind it is that the money can buy you quality time with these 6 women, 6 self-love, with people that you cherish. And so here it's kind of like 10-10 and 10, 3 times the 10. You empower yourself with the magnetic energy to attract the kind of people that are really nice and good and wanting the same like you. And so here you are seeing that fulfilled. What is coming here from the Mother Peace Tarot? It's the 8 of Swords down to the right. And down to the right, we see that here the 8 of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini. And Jupiter, of course, is that aspect of us that we want to go out, we want to be big, we want to make it. But look what she does. She's pushing the sword against this wall, and the ravens are laughing, and she's not looking. And it's kind of interesting because she has here in the back 4 swords. Then she has 3 swords lying on the floor and 1 in her hand. And the 8, we know it's the infinite symbol, right? If she would look, she would see, oh, there's a ladder, I can get out. But she's mentally blocking herself and thinking, no, I need to attack this with my mind. And so since it's pointing to the right, it's pointing somewhere to this magnetic energy. It's almost like you think you can attract this amount of money by just remembering this state of consciousness of yours when you were a child. But for some reason here is something telling you it's not going to work. You need to look a little deeper. And remember the 7 of Wands. It's like you need to take action to counterbalance 8 swords in your mind, right? And look, now the sun is coming. And so it's really important. Then 1 sword is left. Here are 7 wands and 8 swords, right? And I'm just going to see if there's any combination that I can do. And there isn't. But see that, right? So you have a 10, 10, 10 portal, and the 8 is left, right? But if I calculate the 3 and the 8 together, I have the 11, and the 11 is the inner teacher. See the inner teacher coming through Virgo, through Mercury in Virgo, is giving you, hey, you can make a lot of money if you don't block yourself. You need to remember this when you were young, when you were a child, right? And let go of wanting to control things. And now we see the world. The world is bringing you the sun. And the sun just right now brought you the 10 of coins, Mercury in Virgo, right? And so the world is Saturn. Saturn is the planet that rules you, are the borders, right? And so the 21, there's a 20 inside, remember, Pluto? And in the 21 is the 1, and the 1 is Mercury. And so together the 3 appears. The 3 is, of course, then the Empress, Venus, and the 10, and the 9 again, a 10. The 10 and the 3, the 13, that's Scorpio. A transformation, right? A transformation. Go into trance to see that you need to work with the sun, with this dwarf star, with your 10th house of career, and you reach up to the sun. And here are 10 rings in this tree, right? And the 10, that's who you are, the 10. And the 19, when we calculate together, we get the 10. The 10 and the 3, the 13, the 4 is left. Remember, the 4 is letting you know that here, the 4th zodiac sign, Cancer, is the healer, is helping you to overcome whatever it is that you need to overcome, because she's so loving, she's so caring, and that's what we want. We want to care, we want to love, right? And we want to understand how all of this is functioning. So then comes here the Knight of Wands, which is Sagittarius, and it's a fire sign. It's the 9th zodiac sign. And so the 10 and the 9, again, the 19, the sun. Use the warmth of the sun, because the Knight of Wands is someone that has intuition, that has fire, that has the flow. And it's funny, you already had the Knight of Pentacles. Now, of course, you have 2 personalities, right? 2 knights. They take action. Knights are not like queens or kings. They take action. Queens, they are using their head, right? And the knights, they're using their legs. And so here you have really someone that's like, let's do it, let's go for it, right? And so again, the 10 is left, and the 3, and then of course the 13 becomes the 4. So the 4 are the 4 stable points when we sit on a chair, right? Is a stability that sometimes can box us in, that sometimes can make us be like, I need to get out of the 4, right? And so I wanted to see what else is coming from the Mother Peace Tarot, and it's the Shaman of Swords. And the Shaman of Swords to the right, upright, is pointing to actually here the sun. And now it's really interesting, because it's saying that when Pluto is going to be in Aquarius, you're going to go for it. You're going to push, right, the action forward, and you're going to be liberated, and you're going to leave the things behind you. And then Pluto is going to be 20 years in Aquarius, right? And so let Aquarius take care of that, right? And so this is the 11th zodiac signs coming after you, right? So maybe you even, as a court card, if your date is after the 8th of January, then you are the King of Swords. And so the King of Swords is here. But also understand that Pluto is going to be done in Aquarius, and then a new fresh wind is blowing. A new way of looking at things is coming to us. And this is what the whole world is going to feel, because Pluto is a generational planet. It's the outer planet, the one that's the most out there, right? And it takes 250 years to make one spin around the sun. And so here you have the answer, right? And then we can come into a completion. Then we can let go of Pluto in Capricorn, the finance and all that restriction and limitations that Saturn brings, right? Because it's like, it's the borders. It's like, oh, well, this is my country, and we do it here like this, and it's going to open up, right? Pluto's going to be in an air sign. There are no borders in the air. We're going to fly, right? We're going to have no more cars. We're going to fly around. And it's just going to be a new age that is coming to us. And so you have the 10 and the 3, the 13, and then is the 4. And so the date could be the 11th of April or the 4th of November, 4/11 or 11/4. Just have a look, see, and understand the message, right? And so here we can now put the 7 also here, and you see, have the courage, right, to step up. Mars in Leo. Mars is the fighter. Fight a good cause, fight for completion, fight for the young generation, and see that you have support, that you have now also, of course, Aquarius letting you know, well, soon Pluto is out of your house and is going to be here with me, but I'm going to blow through him, right? I'm just going to use whatever I can use to open up the skies, and then we will have the star people coming. I feel like when Pluto is in Aquarius, we're going to see extraterrestrial, we're going to see the star people. And so maybe, you know, you already see through Ashtara the message, right, that this is upon us. Amazing. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Libra. Libra is not here, right? But Libra, again, remember, is the Queen of Swords, and it's also very much like the mental aspect, a little bit like here the King of Swords. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.